Just had a hurricane. There are a lot of shingles missing, a lot of roof issues, so that's not going to be a big thing we hone on today. But when you see more than one form of distress, we definitely will write this down. Okay, cool. So this one here, we just rolled up on. It's our very first one. I was just telling the group in here, when we're driving for dollars, we try to have the windows down. Oops, sorry. We try to have the windows down so we can use all our senses. And you're not talking on the phone with your friends either, so you got to be completely focused on this. Another app I forgot to mention, you can turn around and put it on me here. Another app I forgot to mention is one called, what was it, Ursula, that I mentioned the other day?
It's Snap.
Snap, Home Snap.
That's what I'm trying to
And Home Snap, for example, you see this house that we see right here? Turn back around for us, Eli. If we didn't know what the address was, because at first we were like, okay, what's the address? But we could see the 106 from here. If we use our little Home Snap app while we're by the driveway, Home Snap will tell us what the address is and allow us to take a picture of it. So sometimes for driving for dollars, if you don't want to keep note of everything that you're passing by, you can just use Home Snap to snap pictures, and it'll also keep track of the houses. So that's 3 little gadgets I gave you: Home Snap, the Map My Walk or Run, as well as Evernote. Now, as you're driving around, we're just going to keep track of what we see here. I was going to say something else, but I forgot what it was. All right, so now let's go on to the next one here. So we're going to move a little bit faster. And now this one, when we wrote it down, sometimes we'll say what the deal is. We see some shingles missing, the grass is high. We just had a hurricane. There are a lot of shingles missing, a lot of roof issues, so that's not going to be a big thing we hone on today. But when you see more than one form of distress, we definitely will write this down. This house here, we're not going to write it down because it's just a tarp on the roof, and we just had a somewhat major hurricane come through here. So a lot of people may have some roof issues. What is today? It's not a yard sale day, is it? Wednesday? It's a little early for this. Somebody got thrown out of a house. So we're paying attention to the front of the house and the back of the house. We're looking for any signs of distress.
So the
They're about to put on
events.
their Halloween stuff. Okay, so we're also keeping track of any cars that may be behind us, because we're the ones moving a little bit slower. That way they can go around us, or we could tell them to go around us. So we're watching both sides of the street. I also pay attention to any side doors and the faucets on the side of the house too, because sometimes people put the lockbox there instead of putting it on the front door. And you pay attention to the backyard, because a lot of times neighbors will cut the grass in the front if a house is next door to them and the grass is not being cut, but they won't cut the backyard. So we're also running the Map My Run or Walk, and I'll show you how it shows up, so that we don't have to sit up here trying to remember what streets we've been on or not. We're just driving through and trying to hit everything that we could as we pass it, and then we'll look at Map My Walk and see if it says there's anything we haven't gone through. So we're just looking for people whose houses look like they may want to sell soon. They're not really being kept up. Now there's a huge difference between distress and tacky. So it's okay if people are tacky. Might not be the best paint color, but they are not one we're writing down for driving for dollars. They're allowed to be tacky. In America, you can do whatever. Yeah, we're not judging. Exactly, Larry. We're not judging. We're looking for distress. And you see the mailman walking? There's like a mailman walking in the neighborhood. Sometimes if they're nice, they could be a good source. You ask them, hey, that house, how long has it been empty? Do you know? Instead of asking, hey, you know of any vacant houses in the neighborhood? They're probably not going to want to fess up and tell you. They don't want to put their job at risk. They don't really know who you are. Right. But if you already tell them, like, you already assume and know, hey, how long has that house been empty? What I do is I buy houses. Like this one here, the grass is overgrown, but I don't really see anything else. Well, there's a broken glass. Actually, there's a broken window, but that could have been from the storm. And they really spent a lot of money on preventing any water from coming in. Can you zoom into that? They put a garbage bag over that broken window pane. So that's a borderline. Plus they're not cutting the grass. And there's a car in the driveway, which is, you know, someone probably does live there. Usually if it's vacant, the neighbors will park in the back I'm sorry, the neighbors will park in the driveway, but usually they don't have their cars all the way up to the top of the driveway. So that's probably the people that live there that have that car there. So we're going to ignore that one. So some people will tell you when they drive for dollars, what is this, a road? Let's see how far out this one's gonna go. See, so much you have to keep into consideration when you're doing this driving for dollars. Which roads you're gonna go down and which you're not. So we're gonna go down this one because it's gonna loop us back towards the front again. Judith, are you running your Map My Run or Walk? Are you using HomeSnap? There's a HomeSnap app. You should download that one too. So try to use some of the other different tools while we're out here. That way if you have any questions about them, I can help you with it. No, we're in Florida, and sometimes in the summertime, it rains a lot, so the grass grows pretty high. So, depends on the time of the year, you may not want to look at the grass as being the only thing. If it's only the grass that's too high, that's not a big thing for driving for dollars. But if it has like something else going on with it, then you probably are going to want to write that one down too.